beautiful people. This is Intentional Healing, and I am Nicole Bridger. Today I want to talk to you about communication. The difference between when we communicate from our divine and true selves compared to when we talk from our hurt or broken selves. And what it is that we are creating depending on where we are communicating from. But like always, before we begin, just take a deep breath. And as you exhale, allow yourself to sink into your seat. Noticing where out there in your life your attention has been, and simply calling that thought energy back to your body now as you breathe in. And as you exhale, sinking even deeper into your chair. And when you're ready, slowly opening your eyes. So where you can begin with this conversation is thinking about time recently where you have communicated something to somebody and you kind of feel a little crunch in your tummy. Sometimes we communicate in a way to manipulate somebody, in a way to make someone feel something, maybe to have a certain power over them. Sometimes we communicate to create a certain situation that we want, to control something. And how you know that it's not your divine or true self communicating is that it has an uncomfortable feeling around it as soon as you have said what you've said or withheld communication. It can be to a loved one, a friend, a stranger. It can be long or short. And often what we'll do is we'll end up repeating the scenario in our minds after, thinking of other ways we could have said it, or perhaps justifying why we said what we said. You know, if they had only been like this, then I wouldn't have had to say it like that. If they had done that differently, then I wouldn't have had to communicate like that. And what that does is that keeps us in the cycle, essentially, and keeps you from speaking from your hurt self. So if you take a moment to think about what it is that you communicated and the crunchy feeling that you got from that, take a deep breath and allow yourself for a moment to feel in your body where this is coming from, where you are feeling these uncomfortable emotions. Does this part of you have a voice? If it could communicate to you, what is it saying? What is it feeling? Is it trying to protect you from something? Is it scared of something happening? And simply lay your hand on this part of your body and breathe and listen. And ask it, what is it that you are afraid of? What is it that you are trying to communicate? What is it that you're truly feeling? From this deeper understanding, you can begin to understand what's going on inside you that has you communicating in this way that's not from your true self. This is from your hurt, scared self. Perhaps there's a part of you that communicates in a way that isn't fully true, maybe a way that makes you look a bit better. and you can feel that crunch of dishonesty. And if you take a moment to listen in your body, maybe that part of you is afraid of not being accepted as you are. And there's a part of you that believes that you need to be more than what you are to be loved and accepted. And the beauty in that is that this is a moment to heal that voice. That's just a part of you. It's not all of you. That is believing that you are not enough as you are. And if you can listen to it with compassion, then you can actually heal it instead of trying to push it down or control it or change it, shame it, feel bad about it, hide it. None of those things are going to help this heal. Instead, you listen, and with compassion, you hear what it's actually afraid of. And then, with intention, bring yourself to your divine self, your true self, the place of pure love that knows you are enough just as you are. Perhaps in a relationship, you use your words to put somebody down. You might even code it in a joke or sarcasm to make it more appropriate. But every time you do it, it hurts a little bit or makes you feel uncomfortable. And if you take a moment to ask yourself, why? Why do I need to make that other person feel small? What is this part of me afraid of? Sometimes in that scenario, your subconscious is afraid of being abandoned, of being rejected. And that maybe by making someone else feel small, there's a power dynamic there where they need you. That you have the upper hand. Or that you are judging them before they can possibly judge you. Or perhaps in another scenario, you are withholding communication. You are choosing not to communicate and instead holding a quiet resentment. What is that part of you afraid of? As you begin to listen for real, without judgment, then you can begin to shift it by understanding what's motivating this part of you. Perhaps in a relationship, there's a part of you that's constantly complaining or asking for something. Why can't you do this better? Why can't you help me more? And if we take a moment there and listen, it's because we are holding that very same judgment for ourselves. Or if they need us, then they'll never leave us. Or we have decided that this way of being is an important way to be busy, productive. And so we complain and judge to the others around us that they don't do enough, that we always have to do it. Why am I the one who always has to handle this? And what that part of you does is it keeps you in that space of, it's all up to me. I can't rely on anybody. Instead of actually listening to that part of you that's running in productivity. That the more productive I am, the more I am worth. And I don't want to let go of that way of being, so I'm going to judge others and complain that they're not productive enough so that I can justify me being even more. And remember, there's nothing wrong with being productive. This is about understanding the intention. Imagine for a moment that you listen into this part of you, whatever it's saying. Don't let me put the words there. You listen. And how you listen is first by feeling in your body. Where is this feeling? Place your hand there. Does it have a color or a texture or a temperature? And if it could speak, what would it say? What is it afraid of? How is it trying to help you? And now you can begin through this feeling of compassion. I hear you. I understand. And now I am learning how we can come from a different way, from a place of love. You can feel that part of you begin to soften its grip, soften its fear. And now ask yourself, what is it that I actually want in this relationship, in this dynamic? How do I want to feel when communicating to this person? Often it's things like, I want to feel connected. I want to feel seen and heard. I want to feel loved and appreciated. But what we do is we communicate from this hurt and broken self, communicating from sarcasm, manipulation, pain. And what we end up doing is creating more of the dynamic that we don't want. So in order for you to get the dynamic experience, connection that you do desire, it requires you to first shift into your divine self, your true self, and then communicate from there. If that place, if that part of you knew that you are worthy just as you are, that you deserve love and connection, that you are safe to show yourself just as you are, from that place of expansiveness, pure love, and trust, what would you say then? What would you communicate that's pure and clean, not charged, not hurtful, not manipulative? From that pure, open, expansive place, then you invite communication that is honest and open, safe, and with practice, you begin to build the dynamic in the relationship that you desire, one of trust, connection, feeling seen. But it requires you to first ask yourself in each moment, where am I communicating from right now? Is it from my scared self, or is it from my love self? No big deal if you find that you are communicating from your scared self. Take a deep breath. Listen to that part of you. And then gently nudge yourself into that space of love and trust and expansion. And then communicate from that place. It takes practice. Be a little bit kind to yourself. Be easy on yourself as you begin to slowly learn how to communicate from your divinity. And watch as the experience that you desire begins to open up in front of you. Watch how the relationships that you desire begin to form in front of you. I hope this has been helpful. I wish you a blessed, blessed, blessed day. Be well.